The Anatomy of Life podcast is where we delve into the elements that shape our existence. This is your audio guide on all the building blocks of your life, relationships, your purpose, your mind, your body, and everything in between. Because at the core of it all is health, the foundation that shapes how we live, how we grow, and how we thrive. We are at part 2, the last part of our episode on creating transformative and inspiring wellness spaces with Mary Bugg. In part 1, we explored Mary's deeply personal healing journey, a testament to resilience. And today, we go even further, stepping into the wellness spaces she's helped create and learning the tools and philosophies that are transforming lives through simplicity, authenticity, and true community.
And it was extraordinary to me how the brain could change so quickly. And I lost myself. So I then spent the next 2 years in occupational therapy, in all sorts of therapies to come
Rehabilitate.
back. Rehabilitate. We went back to where we brought the children up in Spain. I have amazing friends there who helped me talk about experiences. And it was like 51st dates where every morning I would wake up with another man. Everything was new. And so this particular day when I was sat at the table and I was thinking, I either have to go into this or shut it down. And I made a phone call to somebody and I said, I'm going to tell you something. And I told him, it's like that memory was the front page to a whole book. And once I spoke about that memory, the whole book opened. And I spoke to him. He came over immediately. Luckily, he was a contact of mine here. He worked in a job attached to social services. So in his home country, he would be dealing with people in my situation a lot, and he knew exactly what to do. I was really lucky. I was able to work with a naturopath doctor, and we used acupuncture to open up my central nervous system and release the memories. I worked with my psychologist, and I eventually ended up working with a neuropsychologist at Hamad Hospital, and we went through exposure therapy. And it
can be very intense.
It's very intense, and it has to be done very carefully. Otherwise, you are re-traumatized. Yeah. So what has actually ended up happening is my neuropsychologist has written a paper on my case. Such was the intensity and experience. And my diagnosis is complex post-traumatic stress syndrome, where my brain repressed these memories to the point where it literally couldn't anymore.
Yeah,
and
it just exploded.
It exploded and it came out. And the treatment that I had and the success that we've had from the treatment is to qualify and add to the data collection the complex post-traumatic stress syndrome.
That's amazing.
Which is beautiful.
And I say this with so much love, but you needed to be the person that went through that.
I 100% agree. Isn't it funny, Lexi? That's when Madeline died, I thought the same thing.
And I'm understanding that now with all the people I connect to with stories like yours, which is so deeply entrenched in new self-discovery and rewriting stories, but helping the world evolve in studies. You've been part of that. Yeah. That's incredible.
Thank you. Wow. I think it all circles back to community and understanding the importance of the influence you live under. And now here I am with my own little family, my husband and my 2 children as expats. And we are this sort of little nucleus of a unit that scream and fall apart and come back together with love. And it's always the very basis of our communication in our family is transparency and honesty. And it doesn't matter what is going on, you tell us.
Non-judgmental spaces.
We will get angry, you will get angry, but everybody has a place here.
And you will come to an understanding of each other.
Yeah. So
that is, I must be honest, it's very refreshing, although it is the most traumatic parts of your life that you shared. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart, not only from my side, but from listeners listening to hear such intimate details of your life. It's a very vulnerable state to be in, and it shouldn't be taken lightly. And when people share stories like you have just shared, it is important for the world to hear these stories so that they can then come forward as well in their own capacities with their own stories and help change the world. And that brings me to, so your journey has led you to create and be part of really impactful wellness spaces. You've already touched on Near Yoga and Warrior Fit. I actually remember Warrior Fit during COVID. I remember when you went into that space. But you've also now started the Simple Retreat and the Path Yoga Center. What was the thought process or the vision behind opening such spaces?
I think I wouldn't like to. So let's start with the path.
Yeah.
Okay. So we ended up going to Bali 2 years ago, myself and my son, for all sorts of reasons. That if anybody's interested, DM me, we'll go for coffee. Listen, luck is the crossroads of preparation and opportunity. And so I found myself in Bali. There's an opportunity. I found myself having a conversation about somebody that was looking for an investment to move a business forward. That's opportunity. I had the conversation with the investors, and I was completely prepared with everything that had taken me to that point. Was it luck? I was prepared, and I took the opportunity. I had the belief system in place. I was connected to intuition. I understood the project. I had experience, and I jumped in with both feet. And so with the investor group that we have and the manager we have on board now and the operations team and marketing, the space has just flourished in the last 18 months. And I'm so incredibly proud to be a stakeholder and to be part and support all the work that's done there.
So if anybody's listening to this and you love Bali, go check out the Path.
Do.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful space. And again, it's about community. And Teresa, our manager, is passionate about implementing community. And that's where the success of the business has come. And if we can be there to support Teresa in everything she needs to do, she's there to support all the students in what they need her for. That's important. Now, so I then reflected on my life experience and how. So I pivoted as well. I did a lot of other trainings. I used my experience of what I'd been through. I started to understand the brain in lots of different ways. And I understood the power of the simple things that I had done to recover. I had done so much. I'd been up and down the road less traveled. I'd healed my life. I'd healed your life. I'd read my colors. I'd stuffed crystals everywhere they could be stuffed.
Chakras aligned.
Oh, I've ommed, I've shouted, I've mallered. I've done it. And it came full circle where I was like, there is so much overload of what is going on now. I don't think people quite know where to start.
100%. It's so highfalutin at this point. It's so convoluted, like all the things. It's too much. It's overwhelming.
And it's lost the basis. And what I learned when I was healing my brain was exactly how the brain works and how simple and easy it is to access yourself. Yes, breath work is really important, but if the diaphragm is stuck, you're not breathing properly, no amount of breath work is going to release you or oxygenate your brain, okay? If you are stuck in fight or flight and you're sympathetic dominant, no amount of chanting or omming is going to get your vagus nerve tone up. This has to be manual labor. The body is generally full of inflammation. Inflammation is caused by unattended infection, bad diet, stress, toxins. Any of that is going to bring infection. Why? Because infection indicates to the body that something is wrong. You need to slow down. When do you ever slow down?
Never. People these days do not. Hustle culture is the epitome of we don't slow down. Yeah. It's like a badge of honor.
It's a badge of honor. Like all the badges.
I think I'm still collecting it.
I'm trying my best not to. And so I realized how simple it is and I had such a powerful experience of fire and rewire, neuroplasticity, and how that's completely possible when you focus in on it and you understand it and you have an awareness. And so I created a product that was based around these ideas. Movement and yoga is very important. Movement allows you to understand the stress in your body and opens up certain parts of your central nervous system in certain ways that is useful and helps you release inflammation as well. Breath is really important because if you're not oxygenating properly, then nothing is getting fed with nutritious material.
It's so funny you talk about oxygen because I had a blood transfusion a few years back, and everything in my life going forward is around oxygen. How do I get oxygen in? How do I stay having oxygen going through my blood? I'm starting to understand blood. So I'm researching blood a lot more. So it's interesting how we get onto these paths. And it usually takes a very damning event in our life that takes our life or threatens to take our life.
With mortality. So I already understood the body. I already understood the muscles and the movement. But what I didn't understand was how the central nervous system speaks to your body. And it just blew me away when I started to study this stuff. Studied to the point where my qualifications contribute to me being called a neuromuscular therapist. Neuro is the nervous system, muscular is the muscles. So I can figure out how your body, what your body is saying, the language of your body.
I love body language, by the way.
So just as a deaf person needs sign language,
A hearing person needs body language.
Right.
All of us do.
We all do. We don't understand the language of our body. I go to a body therapist as well, and he works on me. So some of the qualifications I have, I'm a Reiki master, and
You've done Reiki on me before?
I have. Yeah. And honestly, claiming to be a Reiki master, I feel a bit sticky because it's a bit woo, and if I don't like the woo-woo at the moment, I think it's been pulled out of context.
So I am very saddened by it, to be honest.
We use strategies like bioelectric magnetic fields of the body, which is scientific.
Yeah.
We use a lot of placebo effect. Yeah. We go through the limbic system. We go through the psychogenic system. You may know the word psychosomatic.
Yes.
Which I think has negative connotations, but is actually one of the most powerful experiences you can have in transforming your life. So that is my doorway. That's one of my doorways into your central nervous system. I also have a lymphatic and glymphatic criteria that I work with you to release your lymphatic system, which again releases your central nervous system and connects you a little bit deeper into your brain. I have vagal nerve toning strategies that are super easy. Yeah, super easy and make huge differences. I have clients that come in and they are so messed up medically and they have been everywhere and they cannot sort anything out. Wow. They're the easiest people for me. We do 3 or 4 things and they walk out a changed person. It's
transformative.
I like to say impactful.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's very impactful.
It's impactful because you have to keep it up for yourself.
Then it makes an impact.
Yeah. The other thing I work with acupressure. Okay. Which is the meridian lines of the body. And you'll know that from traditional Chinese medicine.
Yes.
And there are certain points on the body where your acupuncture points go, where your needles go. With acupressure, we work with those points in a slightly grosser way. And they coincide with specific points of the central nervous system. And so obviously everything is connected to the soft organs. Yeah. We do a lot of work because quite frankly, your arms and legs don't do much. You can live without them. You tend to not be able to live without most of the stuff inside your chest. So that's neuromuscular in a nutshell for you. Pretty much if you come to me from the minute you walk through the door, you're doing Reiki with me because we're co-regulating. Yeah. I prepare myself in a very specific way for my clients and I shut down the session in a very specific way after the clients as well. I don't step into their boat of trauma or their sea of experience. I stay very firmly on my shore. That can come across with not a very nice bedside manner sometimes.
Oh, have you got an example of that?
Oh, some of my clients look at me, they're like, I can't believe you just said that. Because they'll be trying to give me the fluffy version of events. And I haven't got time for a fluffy version. I'm like, no, let's get on. I know what to do now. And they're like, well, it's like, here's a box of tissues, it'll be fine. But I learned how indulgent I was over the years of all sorts of different therapies, and it didn't move me forward. It didn't always move me forward. Sometimes I needed to be told in no uncertain terms, this is what you need, and this is what we're going to do. And the fluff was actually my way of deflecting.
Not taking onus of it and just facing it, not doing the work.
The big thing that I'm into right now, the new thing, you're going to hear this, neurohacking.
I'd love to touch on that with you because looking back where there were unexpected challenges or pivotal experiences, whether professionally or personal, I wanted you to tell us about the challenges you've had by having the path, by having the SimpleRetreat, by being a business owner. What has those challenges been? Because remembering you are trying to heal not only yourself, but create a community of healers where you are doing that for people.
So it's about empowerment and it's not imposing my will onto them.
Yeah.
It's really understanding that there is a reason these people have come into the space, not my space, that we're just in a space together. And if I impose my will onto them, then I think it's a cult and not a community. I think that's the difference.
And that's why a lot of people have said to me personally, Lexi, you should do this. And I was like, I don't want to. Because exactly that, I don't want to, it's my belief. Yeah. And I don't want people to feel like they are forced to believe what I believe because it's cultish. Yeah. It has that element of being a cult.
Yeah. There's nothing new in this world.
No.
It's just new ways of doing it. And if you're going to stand in the way of somebody doing it a new way, then you're gatekeeping.
Exactly.
As well. We don't want that.
Oh,
we
true words have never been spoken.
We want to really lift people up without fear. I am not fearful of supporting or helping anybody because I am so confident in what I do.
What you bring to the table
what
as
I bring to the table. And people that are for me will not pass me. And the people that are not for me, we're never going to work.
Exactly.
I can't force or manipulate anything. That's not how this stuff works. I am open to anyone, anytime that wants to reach out. We will have a coffee. I'm not going to charge you for any of my expertise because I don't even think it is expertise. It's
I think it is.
Thank you. Because it's constantly evolving and changing. And if I proclaim to be an expert in my field, then I'm not continuing to learn or evolve.
And this is the thing, is one of my greatest lines I could ever tell people, I heard it when I was very young, is remain teachable. Remain teachable, because that is what creates a really good leader. Somebody that can trailblaze and create a path, are the people that don't know everything.
No. So I think what I do is I lead from behind.
But people don't even realize that. You are bringing out the best in that human being. You're not like, follow my trail. I'm going to say, I'm going to show you your trail.
And do you know what the challenge is? Is that this space is tailor-made to attract trauma.
Yeah.
And so everybody that's coming into my space will have a trauma response to my actions. And I have to be aware of that. I have to be mindful with that and understand where is the boundary where I'm allowing you to be free, to accept yourself, to have confidence, and how I'm pushing you is not a trigger. Do not receive my energy in your wound.
Yeah.
Do not receive my energy in your wound. Receive my energy in your protection, because I am not out to get anybody. I really am not. And I know.
I've never heard it articulated
and
like
I
that.
know that is interpreted in I know I am interpreted in lots of different ways. That there's not. Just because I suppose people haven't really got to the bottom and the nuts and bolts of what I've done and where I came from and how I did things.
Exactly.
So there's a level of mistrust, which I get. I have my own issues around other things that I see that I don't trust. And so I'm a completely open book, and I would never want to treat anybody in a way that they assumed I had a bad intention. Because
an agenda.
Or an agenda, because I've suffered so badly from that in my life.
Yeah.
In my very early life, with the people that were just there to protect me.
Your caregivers didn't show up.
And I turned it around into a way that, let's just do this together, guys. This life is an experience. So if I was going to have any impact on life, this is what I would say, is don't underestimate the power of being true to yourself. No one is coming to save you. Enjoy every single minute as much as you can, because you just don't know when it will be too late. That's what I learned in 2020.
This is how I'm living. And that's, I created the podcast because I was just like, I'm tired of living the way I'm living. I literally was just isolating to the point where isolation was just
bedrock,
literally. And I knew I had to get out of my own head. And I was just like,
that's the biggest step you ever took, I'm sure.
And the podcast is that. It's a revival.
And look, when I say be honest, life isn't perfect. When it's good, enjoy it. It won't last.
Yeah.
When it's bad, enjoy it.
It won't last. Exactly.
And the other thing is, if nothing changes. I spent years not understanding that. And then it suddenly hit me. Oh, I'm not changing anything.
So that's why I'm still here.
I pray, but I move my feet. I don't pray and assume it's all going to come to me. And manifestation has been one of the strongest things. When I set the umbrella company and I called it Abundant Life, and my life became abundant. Then I had abundant therapies.
Yeah.
And I learned all the therapies. Now I'm Abundant Connections.
And now
I'm meeting everyone.
Look where we're sitting. And so not a lot of people know this. Mary and I were just recently reconnected through a women's forum with Doha Women's Forum. It's called that. And both of us we had all the excuses in the world not to go to that. And I was coming into it. I knew I might know one person. I actually knew the MC. And I was like, great. I know like at least one person. And you showed up.
Yep.
And I remember it was a day or so before I was looking at my guest list. Your name was on the guest list. And I was like, I need to reach out and see if Mary's still in Doha. You literally were brought into that door. And so you are becoming abundant in connection. And so
and that's bioelectromagnetic field at work.
Oh, have you watched the movie? Oh, I love the movie. But it's exactly that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's incredible.
And when I saw you there as well, I was so relieved. Yeah. Because I was so relieved, because I was like, not only do I know her, I really know her. Like, we don't know each other madly,
yes,
greatly, deeply.
but we've been in a deep situation twice. Yes, like with the yin, I remember I struggled immensely with my hips, and you helped me with my hips. And we did the Reiki session, and there was a movement in the Reiki session. So we have been deeply connected. And you don't have to be, I constantly come across strangers who they just open up. They just speak to me in a way that is the most intimate details of their life. And my husband would be like, what? Like, why are they doing that? And I said, I'm not sure, but I obviously hold space, and I hold it enough that they feel comfortable.
There's another woman in my life like that, and she came to me in lockdown as well. And when I was with Warrior, and we were looking at how to ingratiate community, how to bring community together, looking at leaders within the community. And I reached out to her and I said, I really want you to come on board with us. And I didn't think she'd even reply. And she was like, oh my God, that's amazing. I would love to come through your platform. And she did. She came in through the platform, and we started to develop a friendship that just came out of nowhere. And our friendship has just evolved into business owners of studios where we connect on that level, where we're both in this crazy situation of running studios and businesses.
And you're like, I can't believe I'm doing this.
I can't believe we're doing this. And we have family, and we have partners, and we have friends, and we have the whole spinning plate thing. And we're probably the only two people in the same experience in Doha. And it's Fedi from Yalla Yoga. Who could have seen that would have grown to the community that she's grown as well? There's place, and there's always space for every single kind of community.
100%.
There is no competition. There's only collaboration.
And because you have already created spaces, I want to ask you, what do you think makes a truly vibrant and supportive health and wellness community? Talking about these spaces, what makes it truly healthy and vibrant?
Someone who's confident in themselves, because it comes down, it rolls downhill. And I suppose that's my attraction to having Fedi as a friend. Because there's no hidden agenda. Everything we've just covered. It has to be authentic. And here's the thing, right? Here's the thing with authenticity. Authenticity isn't just what you present at the front.
Because we wear masks, whether we know whether we like it or not.
Right. And so authenticity, like how I treat my kids and my family in this space with people that come into my home, is exactly the same as we treat each other when nobody is in our home. That's authenticity. So what is what you get? What is written on the tin is what is in the tin. And it won't be long before you realize if it isn't. And then it's down to you to decide, do I want to carry on? And I'm in the space where I want to deflect. I'm in the space where I want to wear a mask, and that's fine. There's a space for everybody. There's a place for everybody. Do not rush healing as well.
That's so huge. I literally have so I'm going through a healing journey as well. And I reach out to my sister and my mother a lot, because on the podcast, I share a lot of intimate details. So people start to hear things about my life, and they're like, whoa, Lex, I didn't know that was your experience. And I've realized through talking to my sister, I reach out to her a lot to collaborate on memories, and to just for her to identify as, yes, that's correct. Or no, I remember that differently. And it's weird how I no longer have I have masks, but I no longer want to wear them. I don't know if that makes sense. From all that to say, my sister's, the way she's interacting with me now because of the podcast as well, and the way my mother's reacting, is a lot more open. There's a lot more healing being had on their end as well. There's a lot more openness. And I remember a few years back, just during COVID, we had a small window open where I could travel. It was literally because I had lost quite a few people during the COVID pandemic.
Right, you did,
And I was like, I need to get home, because I cannot lose another person without physically seeing my mother and touching her. And I went, and I sat at this coffee shop with my mom and my sister, and all I wanted to do was unravel all the shit. I was like, I want to talk about all these things. And my sister was just so reclused. And I remembered in that moment, I can't rush her healing.
No.
I cannot make her sit and talk to me about what I want to talk about right now. But the podcast has caused them to start opening up. And so if now we're years later, a few years later, but they are starting to heal with me. And I'm like, whoa. Now's the courage, isn't it? Now's the time. Now it's safe to go there. But I could still heal myself in that time. It didn't take away from me not living my journey. But you're so right. I cannot rush a person's healing.
And let me tell you, even if that means that you are going to lose a person. Maybe they're going to die. You can still heal.
Yes.
I had the most extraordinary. I had an experience in London in November where I'd got to the stage. Both of my parents are dead, and there's a lot of healing I wanted to do because I wanted to get positive memories back. I didn't want to be living as a person that had this trauma in their background and couldn't participate in conversations around the dinner table about memories in childhood. I wanted to find the good stuff again. And they say, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. And I was in London, and I went to a church where my mother used to go. And the church was shut down, actually, for a recording, an orchestra recording. And I managed to sit in the back, and I just said a little prayer in the way that it would be said in Christianity, because that was the connection to her. And it was November, and I walked out of the church, and the garden is barren, apart from one yellow rose. And a yellow rose was the flower that was on my mother's casket. And my father would always give her yellow roses. And there was one yellow rose. And it doesn't mean that she put the yellow rose there. It means I was prepared to connect to it in that way. Now, something else happened over the last couple of weeks with some clients. I was working on a client, and then this client, the feeling of my mum came to me as I was working with her. And I was conscious, and I thought, if my mum was alive, and if I had been practicing these therapies when she was alive, this is what I would like to have done to her. This is how I would like to have treated her and helped her be better. She died of cancer. And it was really healing for me. It wasn't connected to the client. It was about me understanding, although she's gone, although she's not here, in a dimension, if she was here, you would be able to work with her. You have got yourself to the place.
You have the ability now.
Yeah, where you have healed so much in yourself. You have acceptance, you have love, you have understanding. The experience she was going through as a person, you don't hold blame with her. And that's what healing is. But it's not for them. It's for you. It's for you to be in the place of love, just pure love. And I found the similar thing with one of my brothers. And it's lovely that you use that word wound, because you're cleaning it out.
Yes.
You're cleaning it out. And once it's cleaned of all that
I will no longer refer to it as father wound
stuff, it's healed over, it's clean, it's fresh. And when the energy is coming to you, it's not a wound. There's a trigger. It's the protection.
Oh my goodness. Do you see, I'm just going to bring it back to yoga, because I know you in a yoga sphere.
Yeah.
Do you see yoga as an act of creativity? This is so left field.
It's not left field at all. It's absolutely right, because we are using the creative part of our brain, which is really important to stimulate, because it helps us process things creatively. It helps us understand different perspectives, different points of view, different approaches, helps us through challenges.
100%.
And so much of yoga happens through the hips, which is the sacral chakra, the area of creativity. That's where all the neurotransmitters, the bundles and plexuses of blood vessels going up and down the body to the brain.
Wow, I have so much issue in my hips.
So you're bringing space and release to the hips, which is then releasing all those messages up and down the body to your brain. So that's the creativity part.
And if someone is feeling creatively or emotionally blocked, I think you just touched on that. How might yoga, movement, or neuromuscular therapy help them reconnect with themselves?
It's always very simple. You've got to start with the breath.
Okay.
Everything you do starts with the breath. As long as the breath,
I need to do more of that.
If the breath is releasing properly, then we're coming back to oxygen, right? We're oxygenating the nucleus of the cell.
How do you approach the challenge of helping people integrate the mindfulness and healing they experience in yoga or body work into their daily lives?
I think it's very organic, actually. You can't control the brain. You can control the brain. That's the wrong way of saying it. You are rewiring. Yes, neuroplasticity is rewiring, and it will happen over time. Consistency. Anything that we do in the therapy room, I will give you homework to do, and it's the consistency that will magically bring it into play. Consistency and commitment.
I think commitment's a big one.
When you're ready to
accountable
change
for yourselves, and to yourself. Right?
Yeah.
So if you could design the ultimate retreat or healing experience, what would it include? And what feeling would you want people to walk away with?
I think that's what I'm in the process of doing at the moment, actually.
The Simple Retreats in Bali.
Yeah, it really is. The space that we will be using in Bali is very tranquil. It's very peaceful. Nature in itself has a bioelectric magnetic field. And so when you allow yourself to just sit in that, forest bathing is a huge thing. Having the opportunity to do that in nature will have the impact of the neuroplasticity starting to rewire.
Yeah.
People just don't step back enough and take time and sit in silence.
But, I know I don't. I need to do it more. I know that there's a lot of people that need to do that more. This conversation has been absolutely amazing. I have one last one.
Oh, go on then.
At the end of each episode, I like to ask my guests something I call the invisible impact or legacy question. Because I believe we each have an impact on the lives we touch, often in ways we can't see directly. So as we wrap up, I'd love to know, what's one unseen or invisible impact you hope to leave behind, not just from our conversation today, but in your life's work?
Have we got another 2 hours?
We certainly can.
No, the biggest impact is don't be scared. Don't let the fear eat you away. Life is too short. Life goes so quickly. Whatever age you're at, you will think there's a lot of life left, and there isn't. Whether you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, it's moving really quickly because you have so much experience in your mind to reflect on and sort through with the decisions that are coming. So just enjoy every single minute that you have.
And take every opportunity.
Take every opportunity. Don't waste your time doubting yourself.
I'm 100% believer in that. And Mary Bugg, you have been absolutely amazing today.
You.
I've loved sitting and chatting with you. I always do. And where can they find you? Can you give us your handle and talk us through? Do you have a website for the Simple Retreat?
It's very simple. www.thesimpleretreat.com.
Nice. And Mary Bugg, your Instagram handle?
My Instagram, I think, is Abundant Connections.
Okay, perfect. I'll link it all below.
Amazing. I love talking to you, Lexi.
Absolutely.
You have such an amazing quality and ability to understand and connect.
Oh, so do you. And that's why we keep connecting.
Thank you.
That's it for today's episode of the Anatomy of Life podcast. If you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to subscribe and leave us a review. It helps others find the show. You can listen to the Anatomy of Life on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. This show was produced by me, Lexi, with music from Artlist.io. Thank you for listening, and as always, here is to your health.